We're going to do a quick check for your abdominals and to see if you've got any separation in your abdominals. Before we do it, I just want to be really clear that some separation of your abdominals postnatally is completely normal. One of the really key things that you're looking for here is not just the gap between your abdominals, it's how deep that gap is. For example, it is perfectly normal to have about a finger width of gap that has sort of a good amount of resistance in between, and it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your abdominals if you've got good resistance there. However, particularly if your gap is a bit wider, if there's a real sense that your fingers could just go on forever in that middle bit, then that's when we really want to work on that connective tissue and start building it up and allowing your abdominals to support you a little bit better, because that squishiness and that feeling that there's nothing there when you press down means that there's a bit of a lack of support in your abdominal wall. So you're going to come onto your back, lying with your knees bent up and your feet flat on the floor. Have one hand around your belly button and the other hand supporting at the back of your head, and then you're going to just float your head and shoulders off of the floor and press down into your belly button area and look for either side of your rectus. So you may well feel that there's a big gap there, or there may be just a tiny sense of feeling where the abdominals, because it is two separate bellies of muscle, so there is going to be something there, whether even if you haven't had a baby, most people have that. And then come down towards your pubic bone and press there, and see, for most people the widest point is around your belly button, so come down and see what the gap, if there is a gap, and if what the gap's like down there, and then come up above your belly button all the way up to your sternum, and then rest your head back down. So when you did that, hopefully you weren't thinking about your breathing, you weren't thinking about connecting at all, you were just letting your belly push out and not controlling the intra-abdominal pressure, so that you could feel when the intra-abdominal pressure is not controlled, your abdominals will push out a little bit. Let's just try it again and do it, and as you do it, breathe out. And you may well feel less gap, no gap, a change in how the gap feels, and then rest back down again. So just notice that, and hopefully you'll feel, and you may not, because it may be that even with an exhale that you can't quite control that intra-abdominal pressure, but you may well feel that there's a bit of a change, and that's really what we want to be working on, that we get that exhale to help us control the intra-abdominal pressure. When you're exhaling, the abdominals are hopefully drawing in towards each other if you're doing it with the right focus, and then that's going to help you to keep building strength. Do contact me and ask if you've got any questions. If you've got real concerns about it, I would really highly recommend going to see a women's health physio about it. But feel free to get in touch and ask if you've got real worries or you're just not quite sure whether you're doing it right.